It's time now for County-Wide, a presentation of Yavapai Broadcasting News. You'll hear about the interesting issues and happenings that affect all our lives. Here's today's County-Wide.
Well, good day, everybody, and welcome to the program. I'm Brad Miller. It is County-Wide, of course, and we're happy to welcome into studio a guest that has been with us a number of times talking about a terrific organization. I think, Brian, more than 50 years strong now in Yavapai County. Big Brothers, Big Sisters, is that right?
Yes, sir. Glad to be on the show today.
Am I saying that correctly? Brian Bergner has been a guest of ours a number of times, but you have brought a new guest. Can you introduce Heather to our audience?
Yes, we in November, the organization hired Heather Seets, who is our donor relations director, and will be working in development, of course, and she's a great find for the agency, and of course we're starting to work together and learn how that all goes, and so Heather's great, and she's had some experience, and so we're glad to have her today, of course, and kind of introduce the county to her, with the Yavapai Big Brothers Big Sisters.
And she brings a smile into this room.
Well, thank you for having me. Thank you for that. Nice introduction.
Let me just ask you, first of all, I do this with almost all of our guests because so often we are talking with nonprofits. Very often I find that folks have some kind of a story. What brought you together with Brian and Big Brothers Big Sisters?
That's a great question. So I think my biggest draw to Yavapai Big Brothers Big Sisters is just the fact that they've been around for such a long time. I am a Prescott native, so we're a dying breed. But yeah, I've been in the Prescott and Yavapai County area my entire life, and I'm just super excited to be able to kind of give back to my community in a way that I think is really important. And so pouring into the youth in our county is just near and dear to my heart, and it's something that I really enjoy.
Well, and today's youngsters are tomorrow's leaders, and whether they do like you did and choose to stay in the community or take their what they've learned from us and go out and share all of that. Either way, it's a winning cause. Again, I'm going to do, I think everybody, by this time, Brian would have a really good idea of what Big Brothers Big Sisters is, but give me the 1-minute pitch just in case anyone is unfamiliar with your organization. It's a national organization, right?
It is. There are over 250 agencies in the country, and Big Brothers Big Sisters of America, of course, is our national brand. And Yavapai Big Brothers Big Sisters, of course, we believe that mentoring allows everyone to achieve, their full potential. And so we're a one-to-one mentoring program. We have over 150 matches in the county currently. Wow. With 30 to 40 littles in weight. So we're always recruiting bigs. But, of course, that one-to-one relationship is always pretty big these days. And in terms of, being able to reach out to another adult besides a parent. And we have all kinds of different families in our organization. We have one-parent households. Sometimes the youth are living with grandma or grandpa. Sometimes they're in foster care. And so we hit all kinds of different versions of the family dynamic. And so what we offer is a way to help maybe provide some stability into that youth's life. And now that we've expanded our program to ages 18 to 24, we're able to do that even more now. And in fact, almost 20% of our littles now in our program are actually older than 18.
Is that right?
So they didn't get a chance to, in the old days prior to this new program, they aged out at 18, almost like they, it was some weird state program. And now they get a chance to stay with their big, because of course, when you're 18 years old, you still need to learn how to fill out a college application. You've never maybe gotten a full-time job before. How do you find an apartment? How do you pay for that apartment? And so not only the home dynamic, but the big is able to help them through that. Yeah. And of course, just be a person that there is to listen. They're not a parent. It's not their job to be a parent, but being a big is a great opportunity to help change someone's life, for the better, and just be there to help them through it.
The information that young people can miss just about the day-to-day, like you described, filling out applications, applying for jobs, things like that, because they're not from what we might call the quote-unquote traditional or even cliche idea of a stable home. There's all kinds of bigs, all kinds of littles, all kinds of families, and all kinds of different situations that bring young people together with older people, and that all important mentorship. Let's talk about some of the events coming up. There's fundraisers, and you guys always really do it big. There's always big. See what I did there?
Yeah,
Isn't that
I see
funny?
what you did. I
you
like
don't
that.
do it little.
Yep.
Oh, boy. All right. But no, seriously, there's always terrific things, and some of these are really bookmarks on the calendar of the entire area that the Big Brothers Big Sisters, Yavapai chapter puts together. So let's start with some of those. There's one coming up very, very quickly.
Yeah, so on February 1st, we'll be launching our 2024 Bowl for Kids' Sake. The bowling event is always a huge deal, with Bowl for Kids' Sake and Yavapai County. So we're going to launch all the marketing materials. Everything's coming out. The website's going to be ready for people to register their teams. So the events are actually April 6th, 13th, and 20th. And on April 6th and 13th, we'll be in Prescott Valley and KVRD at the casino at Shake, Rattle, and Bowl. Yeah. And then, of course, April 20th will be, in Prescott at Plaza Bowl. And we changed it a little bit this year. In the past, it used to be Saturday and Sundays. And now we're focusing on Saturdays, and we're offering 3 Saturdays in a row instead of just 2 weekends. Okay. Because typically 90% of our bowlers or more pick a Saturday to bowl. So we felt like adding an additional Saturday would help people, raise that money and give them another week to do so and be a part of that team. So one of the coolest things is once the registration is up and ready, we're actually going to host what we call launch parties. And on Valentine's Day in February 14th, we're actually going to be here in Cottonwood at Starbucks, just off 260 there, and the Starbucks in Prescott area, so that we'll be able to host people if they want to come up, they want to sign up their team, if they need to learn about how to sign up the team, how to put the money when they go out and they ask for it, they can do that. And we'll, of course, have the cool team captain shirts, the bowling shirts. If you think Charlie Sheen and what he likes to wear, that is the bowling shirt that will be available. All the team captains wear those with pride. They're always very popular. So we are bringing them back once again. And when you sign up your team on those launch days, you'll be able to get that shirt right away, and it'll help you recruit and, of course, raise some money for a good cause.
And just straight up bowling is going to be a good time.
Of course.
And it's just that's one of the things that's always kind of impressed me about some of the fundraisers is you build it into a good time. There's no reason we can't do good things and have fun doing it.
Absolutely. And it's a peer-to-peer thing, so they go out, they raise a few bucks, make a few calls to some college roommates or people that are in their circle. Yeah. And, usually it's teams of 5. And we usually ask around $600 for each team, and sometimes people will go, "Wow, that's a lot." But in reality, each person's about $100. Yeah, and that's a couple of calls to grandma and a roommate, and you're there. And so lots of teams do way more than that, which is always a great opportunity to. And it's a team building thing. So a lot of businesses locally love to join in and put their employees together and raise this money, and it helps them. And they like to all bowl together. And some we've seen businesses that come out with their boards, they come out with the ownership groups, all the managers, the employees, and they really have a great time because in the end, bowling itself is a thank you for the peer-to-peer fundraising. Yeah. And so they've got all that time to be able to do that. And, it's the typical thing. So they're going to get 2 free games. They're going to get a free pair of bowling shoes. They get 2 drinks. They're going to get some pizza and, of course, the free T-shirt, which are always typically popular. And I've seen T-shirts from bowling from 20 years ago around in Yavapai County. Right? So they're always popular shirts, and that's always a big pull for everybody. So, yeah, we're looking forward to that, and it's always a big event every year.
You're also going to go home that day knowing you've done something terrific for young people that perhaps you'll never meet personally, but who are going to be strongly invested in what you are helping to provide them as a bowler or however you step up and become a part of the Big Brothers Big Sisters. We need to take a short break. When we come back, I want to go to Heather Seets, and your title, Heather, Donor Relations Director. Did I get that right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I want to talk a little bit about that, and I want to talk a little bit about when you work. It sounds to me like you probably work primarily with businesses, yes, corporate heads and things like that. Mm-hmm. I want to talk a little bit about how they are going to benefit from becoming involved, providing resources or whatever, with Yavapai Big Brothers Big Sisters.
Great, I can't wait to tell you about
that. Let's do that. First, we'll take a short break. Heather Seets, Brian Bergner with Big Brothers Big Sisters on Countywide. We'll pause. We'll be back right after this.
Life changes, then it changes again. Predicting the unexpected in life is impossible. That's why it's called unexpected. So when it comes to financial goals, our philosophy is don't predict, prepare. Hi, I'm Edward Jones financial advisor Matthias Sandoval. A job loss, change in health, or a loss of a loved one can have a big impact on your family's financial security. Let's work together to help make sure you're equipped for life's unexpected events. Call our office to schedule a face-to-face appointment.
Edward Jones, making sense of investing. Member SIPC.
Verde Solaire, your hometown heating, air conditioning, and plumbing company in the Verde Valley. And your trusted North Central Arizona Goodman dealer. Goodman is a name you can trust with the revolutionary Comfort Bridge technology factory installed into select Goodman gas furnaces and air handlers to ensure the entire system operates at peak energy efficient performance. Verde Solar offers free in-home estimates. Locally owned and operated since 1983. Visit them at verdesolar.com. Better, cleaner, faster.
Let's talk. That's the message from Jonna Randall Murdoch, your local Farm Bureau agent, providing a personal touch when making insurance and financial decisions. Jonna will simplify your insurance needs while offering competitive pricing. Let's talk auto, home, life, and farm. Call Jonna at Farm Bureau today at 928-649-8686. Your Cottonwood Farm Bureau property and casualty insurance company. At Farm Bureau, they insure more than just farms.
We welcome you back to the program. It is Countywide. I'm Brett Miller, and again, in studio today, Brian Bergner, Heather Seets with Yavapai Big Brothers Big Sisters. Big fundraisers coming up again very, very soon on our calendar. But I wanted to talk with Heather a little bit. Donor Relations Director. It sounds to me like that means you'll talk directly with folks in the community who are business leadership.
Absolutely. Yeah, we reach out to a number of businesses every year for support. We are 100% funded by the community and the generosity of our neighbors. And so we are really fortunate that we have a lot of great businesses in Yavapai County that come out every year to support all of our different events.
Yeah.
And so this year, and we've done it a little bit in the past, but we're really pushing this year the idea of the big partnership. And so that is where a business comes in at typically the $10,000 or more level. And for that, they get advertising basically for a year at our 5 major events. And that includes our symposium, which happens in January, Bowl for Kids' Sake, which Brian just talked about, that happens in the spring, our annual Bob Mariano Golf Classic, which happens in May. And new this year, which I think Brian will talk about, is our Darla DeVille Luau that we have in the summer, and then our big gala event that happens in November. So
these are all well-attended events.
Well-attended, yeah.
Big crowds at every one of those things.
Mm-hmm. Our gala, in fact, is one of the largest events in Yavapai County.
Yeah.
And has been for a number of years. And so we're really excited this year. We're going to be back at the Prescott Resort, and we're excited to have a really big event this year.
So being involved, it seems to me like every business owner listening to the program right now, big or small, knows that they're always going to be getting those knocks on on those phone calls about donating, contributing, and so many do. Mm-hmm. That's why so many organizations make it around here.
Right.
But it sounds like yours would really be something I would liken more to an investment. Than a donation. We're parsing words, but
right.
I mean, just given the legs, if you will, that they're going to have throughout the year.
Absolutely. So, I mean, not only does it get them advertising for their business and, their name in front of a number of people, but I think if you break it down and realize that we really utilize that money to provide, professional, meaningful, intentional mentorship opportunities, and we do our due diligence to make sure that the matches that we create are the perfect matches. We have some bigs that are waiting for littles and some littles that are waiting for bigs, right, because we're trying to match them with the exact right person. Right. And so what you said is exactly right. Like, that is an investment in the youth in our county. And so when the businesses look at it that way, I think that we have a lot more engagement that way. And not only that, but we have so many opportunities for businesses to sort of provide team building opportunities for their company. Bowl for Kids' Sake is a great example of that. Great example, yeah. We get the teams coming out and competing one against another, and we love to encourage that sort of camaraderie and that kind of stuff.
Little competition,
exactly,
too.
A little bit of competition.
There's some
and
of that.
So we
That's
love
fun.
to get that going within the businesses too. So I think that's part of the draw to Big Brothers Big Sisters, is that they get to do that too.
Talk to me a little bit about, I don't want to break this down dollar by dollar, Brian, but where does the money go? How does it, support and make all of these different kinds of things happen? Because we're talking possibly hundreds of people between the bigs, the littles, and all of that coordination. My gosh, seems mind-boggling to me that you could get it all together.
Yeah, obviously when you raise money and like Heather said, 100% of it is going towards, it stays in Yavapai County. It stays here. It doesn't go to national. We're not a nonprofit that sends money off somewhere else. So every dollar and the businesses that invest is a term that you used in Yavapai Big Brothers Big Sisters. Really, they're investing in workforce development because that's a big deal for us right now.
Right.
And bringing up these youth into their community, and they're going to work one day. And so being involved in these events and the young people and their families, seeing them involved in the events, they're able to really invest their time and then work here, and maybe they go to school and come back to this community, and or they stay here and they go to Yavapai College, and then who knows,
right?
Or they go to a trade school and they come back and they do welding or whatever. And there's always such a huge workforce development is a big push for us, and that's what we really like to do. And of course, our youth is doing that. And so when the money is used to support our program, and we have professional social workers on staff, and we have counselors on staff that help these families and make these matches so that when the families need help, they're a phone call away. So that's a big deal.
It's interesting how much is we're riding on faith. Mm-hmm. We're riding on that young people are going to be able to contribute, and we don't know if they'll become doctors, if they'll become welders, we don't know what they'll do. We don't know if they'll stay here and keep their talents and abilities and what they've gathered local, or if they'll take it anywhere else. But what we do know is, minus programs like this, none of that is going to happen. Mm-hmm. We know for sure that it's not going to happen without programs like Big Brothers Big Sisters.
Right. And like Brian said, we have such a strong relationship with a lot of our businesses that, yes, we are looking for donations and we're always knocking at the door, like you said earlier, but we also are looking for that partnership for them to help our youth. Maybe that is a business that they can have an internship at, or they can have their first job at.
So
that
beyond
business.
a financial contribution.
Exactly.
Gotcha. Okay.
So, when we look at our sponsors, it's much more than just a sort of a financial transaction.
Right.
It's very much a relationship. And that's what I love about, Big Brothers Big Sisters, is that we are building those relationships and creating those relationships all throughout Yavapai County. And oftentimes it extends far beyond just them writing us a check. Mm-hmm. And so that's what I think is really foundational about what we do. And it's kind of, it's at the core of how we get going. So, yeah, it's great.
And like any relationship, sometimes those take time to nurture.
Absolutely.
And develop. And you don't until maybe you jump in and there is a monetary pledge saying we start right there. And then we learn a little bit more because we're starting to attend some of the fundraisers and some of those kinds of things. Exactly. And by a year from now or two, we've discovered, oh my gosh, we can get involved in many other different ways.
Right. And when they can actually see how their contribution is affecting a life, it makes a huge difference.
Yeah.
And I just want to take a quick minute while we're on the subject to just thank everybody who has been a sponsor of Big Brothers Big Sisters. We are so thankful for them and have so much gratitude for what they have done. And we love those relationships and want to keep them building. So
talk to me a minute about tax credit. That's
you.
been such a boon for so many nonprofits.
Yes, thank you so much for bringing that up. So this year, things have changed a little bit, which is kind of great for us. The tax credit amount that folks can enjoy has gone up to $421 for an individual and $841 for a couple. And what that means is basically if you give to a qualified charitable organization, which Yavapai Big Brothers Big Sisters is, you can give us that amount of money, and that exact amount can come off as a credit on your taxes. And so you just have to put down our QCO code, which is available online. Just make sure to look for Yavapai Big Brothers Big Sisters. So it's at the bottom of the list because it starts with a Y. But tax credit is amazing, and it's one of our biggest fundraisers. And so we really rely on those dollars. And so if folks are looking for a place to donate, that's one way to do it. And I think a lot of folks may not know that there's actually 5 different categories that you can contribute to. So you can still give to your favorite school and give to us as well.
It doesn't have to be all in one or the other.
Exactly.
There's so many things people don't understand about that. A lot of them, I still get questions, and we have been advocating for this on so many different fronts.
Absolutely.
That think they don't understand. Well, I never owe money on my Arizona state tax. I can't do this. Wrong.
Right. Yeah.
Yes,
you may very well get it back as a credit, and a refund.
I always say, wouldn't you rather see the money go toward Yavapai Big Brothers Big Sisters or your kid's school or your grandkids' favorite activity rather than filling potholes in Maricopa
Right.
County.
Exactly.
And it's really not too far from the truth. So look it up. Talk to your accountant. Talk to your financial advisor. And if you wanted to contribute through the tax credit directly to Yavapai Big Brothers Big Sisters, contact them, and they'll walk you right on through it. We need to take another short break. We'll come back. We'll wrap it up with our guest, Brian Bergner, Heather Seets, Yavapai Big Brothers Big Sisters. Countywide is back after this.
Life changes, then it changes again. Predicting the unexpected in life is impossible. That's why it's called unexpected. So when it comes to financial goals, our philosophy is don't predict, prepare. Hi, I'm Edward Jones financial advisor Matthias Sandoval. A job loss, change in health, or a loss of a loved one can have a big impact on your family's financial security. Let's work together to help make sure you're equipped for life's unexpected events. Call our office to schedule a face-to-face appointment.
Edward Jones, making sense of investing. Member SIPC.
Verde Solaire, your hometown heating, air conditioning, and plumbing company in the Verde Valley, and your trusted North Central Arizona Goodman dealer. Goodman is a name you can trust with the revolutionary Comfort Bridge technology factory installed into select Goodman gas furnaces and air handlers to ensure the entire system operates at peak energy efficient performance. Verde Solaire offers free in-home estimates, locally owned and operated since 1983. Visit them at verdesolaire.com. Better, cleaner, faster.
Let's talk. That's the message from Jonna Randall Murdoch, your local Farm Bureau agent providing a personal touch when making insurance and financial decisions. Jonna will simplify your insurance needs while offering competitive pricing. Let's talk auto, home, life, and farm. Call Jonna at Farm Bureau today at 928-649-8686. Your Cottonwood Farm Bureau property and casualty insurance company. At Farm Bureau, they insure more than just farms.
We welcome you back to the program. It is our final few moments of Yavapai, Countywide with our guest, Yavapai Big Brothers Big Sisters, Brian Bergner, Heather Seets. And Heather, an addendum to what you were just talking about before the break.
Yeah, I just wanted to remind everybody that with their tax credit, you can actually make those donations through April 15th. And so a lot of people think that it ends at the end of the year, but
Right.
you actually have until April 15th to make that donation. So people can still write a check to Big Brothers Big Sisters.
Talk to your accountant or your tax person. They're
Absolutely.
all over these things.
Yeah.
They know really how to do it. And
Absolutely.
if you're unclear or have questions, they should be able to help. Okay, Brian, we're kind of at the end of the show. Wrap it up for us. What's happening?
Well, of course, like we talked about, bowling's coming up. And when you decide to register, you just go to azbigs.org.
Yep.
Register your team. We've got lots of great things coming in 2024. So a great way to keep up with us is to go to azbigs.org.
Right.
You can find us on Facebook. Just search Yavapai Big Brothers Big Sisters, and all the great things will, of course, be there. If you have any questions about tax credit, you have questions about being part of Bowl for Kids' Sake, if you'd like to donate, doing some year-end giving, whatever, you can call our main office at 928-778-5135. There's always great people to answer the phone and can really answer any questions that you might have. And so we're looking forward to 2024 as we turn into February here, and really making it a push that it takes little to be big.
Yeah. Tell me a little bit just here at the very end. If I am listening to the show and I think I've got what it takes, I can do it. I want to be a big brother or a big sister.
If you want to be you want to be a mentor, and you want to change a youth's life and their families, you definitely want to head to azbigs.org. You can fill out an application. One of our social workers and staffers will be in touch with you. There's typically an interview process, and then, of course, they go through background checks. So,
Right.
And then they go from there, and then they match you based on, things that you like, and it's usually a whole process. So if you'd like to be a big, we'd love to have you. We're always looking for bigs and, recruiting some really good people out of Yavapai County.
It'll give you a great feeling and some of the benefits you may never know of becoming involved with Yavapai Big Brothers Big Sisters. Our guest, Heather Seets, Brian Bergner. I'm Brad Miller. It's Countywide, and we'll see you next time.
This has been Countywide. Listen in each Tuesday and Thursday at this time. If you have a topic or guest idea that you'd like to suggest, email us, news@myradioplace.com.